proceed, let us have the introduction part of it. I'm Honorable Matata Benjamin Kerich. I'm the chair to the committee.
I'm Sarah Mutwal, Vice Chair.
Isaiah Minor, member.
I'm Honorable John Bitok, member.
Beth Richard, member.
Songok Bridget, member.
Keter Julius, member.
Itzak Mosbey, member.
Silas Sum, member.
Kuto Tufosa, member.
Tololai Lucy, member.
Jepto Lydia, member.
Silas Kogo, member.
Beth Kipto, member.
I am Darbey Josephat, member to this committee.
Thank you, honorable members. I will also invite the secretariat to do the introduction.
Mutai Daniel, committee secretariat.
CTNA Nancy, the secretariat.
I'm Kibet Agri, secretariat.
Thank you. Maybe now I will call upon Waziri to take charge of the introduction.
Thank you, Chair. I am Hilary Serem, the CC member in charge of finance and economic planning, and we have a team who have, together with me, come here, so they will introduce themselves.
Thank you, Chair and honorable members. My name is Priska Muige, Chief Officer Finance and Economic Planning. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair and honorable members. My name is Jafet Tirop, Head of Supply Chain, Nandi County.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Waziri and your team. Maybe now I will call upon the Sergeant to place this team under oath.
I, Hilary Kiptanui Serem, do hereby swear to testify all matters in question and to tell this committee the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
I, Priska Muige, do hereby swear to testify on all matters in question and to tell this committee the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God. Thank you.
I, Jafet Tirop, do hereby swear to testify on all matters in question and to tell this committee the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Okay, thank you very much, the Sergeant. I will now take Waziri and the team on the mandate of the committee. The County Assembly of Nandi on 24th September 2024 approved a motion for the formation of ad hoc committee for investigation on project implementation for the financial year 2023-2024 and 2022-2023, NARIG and personnel emoluments or anything relating to it, or any part thereof, to sit and investigate on the issues here and itemized as the mandate of the committee. The committee has the following mandate: A, to, with respect to flagship projects, flagged and alleged non-existent projects as spelled out in the implementation committee reports laid on the table of the House on 17 September 2024, to 1, investigate whether there was financial impropriety on projects across all the county departments. 2, establish whether there was a breach of the Constitution or any other applicable law by state and or public officers in the execution of projects. 3, investigate whether the laid down procurement processes were followed in the award of tenders. 4, recommend appropriate action to be taken against identified breaches and all responsible parties accountable. B, establish the actual cost of personnel emoluments incurred during financial year 22-23 and 23-24 in circumstances, if any, occasioning violation of Section 107 of the Public Finance Management Act, and whether funds were irregularly paid for personnel emoluments. C, with respect to the National Agricultural Rural Inclusive Growth Project, NARIC, investigate on the following: A, whether funds were utilized in a prudent manner. 2, beneficiaries of NARIC projects and their physical locations. And C, whether the procurement processes were adhered to. D, with respect to the hire of county machinery and or motor vehicles too, as contained in the project implementation committee report laid on the table of the House on 17 September 2024, establish 1, the circumstances leading to the hire of road machinery or motor vehicles. 2, whether the tendering process was adhered to in accordance with the procurement and applicable laws. 3, the actual cost, the actual works done and location. 4, the total amount of money paid vis-a-vis budget allocation. Okay. Maybe, Waziri, before we proceed, we have a letter here that has been replied to this honorable house pertaining one of your staff and the director, Ellen Kimboy, and she has wrote a letter to the reasons why he is not able to appear before this committee, and I'm going to read. Reference is made to someone to appear before Nandi County Assembly ad hoc committee. Your letters dated 2nd, 9th, and 14 October 2024 on the above subject refer. I therefore thank you for according me an opportunity to appear before the committee to respond to pertinent issues within my purview. However, I am unable to appear before the committee personally during the scheduled time due to a family emergency. I have submitted the necessary document requested by your office for the committee's perusal and reference. I also commit to avail myself in future to make any clarification arising out of documents submitted to you or any other related issues when called upon to do so. Your kind acceptance of my apology will be greatly appreciated. And she has attached all the documents that were requested from her, and this one will be for the committee to deliberate on it. Now, maybe, Waziri, before we proceed, we also have a letter that was wrote by your office. Reference is production stroke submission of documents to the Nandi County Assembly ADO Committee. Reference is made to your letter dated 2nd October 2024 on the above subject matter. The following documents are hereby attached. I think for clarity, can we have the letter that was wrote to the department? As you produce the letter, let us confirm the following: schedule of personnel, stroke salary emoluments paid, tendered works paid, list of consultancy services, list of tendered works, quarterly implementation report, status of payment, status and operationalization of flagship projects, payment of the pharmaceutical and non-pharmaceuticals, county revenue fund account balances, uploaded budget estimates 2022, 2023, and 2023-2024. This is a letter that was wrote by your office. I will confirm from the Secretariat to confirm the same.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I confirm that the said documents were received.
Okay, thank you, Honorable
Chairman.
Members. Yes.
Does the clerk confirm the uploaded budget was received?
Okay. Maybe this question, I will direct the same question to Waziri. Is the budget that you presented to this Honorable House the uploaded one?
Yes, it is, Chair.
Okay. Honorable Member, Mheshimiwa Maina, now that Waziri has indicated that the budget submitted is the uploaded one, it will be upon the committee now to carry out the verification of the same. Yeah. So maybe Waziri, maybe I will give you a few minutes to tell us about the department.
Was that the only document missing, Honorable Chairman? Did we receive the IFMIS statements?
And that is why, Honorable Members, I have requested that let us have a copy of the letter that was sent to the department, so that as we proceed, it will be.
Maybe you can confirm. The witness is here.
Now, here is the letter that was sent to the chief officer, and one is the uploaded budget for financial year 2022-2023 and 2023-2024, and then the second thing is the integrated financial management information system (IFMIS) for financial year 2022-2023. The third one is all the bank accounts held by the county government of Nandi. And then 4, list of projects, stock programs undertaken under the emergency fund account. 5, certified copy of statement of the Nandi County Emergency Fund account for the period commencing 1st July 2022 and ending 30th June 2024. 6, list of payment for tendered works and suppliers against beneficiaries for the period commencing 1st July 2022 and ending 30th June 2024. 7. Payment made to respect to consultancy and legal services. And finally, the CRF balances as at 1st July 2022 and 1st July 2023 and as of 1st July 2024. Maybe I will direct this question to the Chief Officer. Have you submitted all the documents in this letter?
Thank you, Chair. Let me make reference to the uploaded budget as asked by the Honorable Member. The uploaded budget is the budget that was approved by the County Assembly, and we upload as is approved by the County Assembly. So we don't have another version of the uploaded budget. Kindly, I will request to make reference to the statement on the issue on IFMIS, if it can be read again.
Okay, the second item that you are requested to submit is the Integrated Financial Management Information System, IFMIS, for financial year 2022, 2023, and 2023, 2024.
Thank you, Chair. The item that I was asked to produce, as you have read, is Integrated Financial Management System. Integrated Financial Management System is a software or a platform that is domiciled at National Treasury. It did not indicate that I produce a statement. I think it reads clearly. It did not indicate a statement.
Honorable Chairman.
Yes, Honorable Minor.
I think probably the witness needs to be a bit more kind to us, because obviously we would not have asked her to produce the IFMIS system to this house. So this is not very kind. If she didn't understand the letter, probably she would have just sought some clarification, not to come here and tell us.
Okay, Honorable Minor, I wish to guide that now that we have some misunderstanding on the requirements and the explanation by the CEO, I think this issue should be left for now, as I will make a ruling before we close the session.
Chair, maybe to still make clarification, there is a submission on the list of paid works, which is an extract from the IFMIS. List of paid tendered works. But for the system, it's as I've explained. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, on the other items, all the bank accounts held by the county government of Nandi.
Yes, it's submitted.
List of projects to programs undertaken under the emergency fund account.
It's submitted.
Statement. A certified copy of the statement of the Nandi County Emergency Fund account for the period 1st July 2022 and ending on 30th June 2024.
That could be the only outstanding document that we can still submit.
6 is the list of payment for tendered works and suppliers against beneficiaries.
That is submitted.
Payment made in respect to consultancy and legal services.
That's submitted.
CRF balances as at 1st July 2022, 1st July 2023, and 1st July 2024.
That is attached in the file.
Thank you. So maybe we shall now proceed to the next item. And I had requested Waziri to give a brief about the department.
Maybe Chair, before you go to that issue, if your to look at the bundle, and unfortunately they didn't paginate. There is a bundle here, status of outstanding payment events. Okay, there is a bundle with so many papers but no page. And I see, say for instance, where it is written Nandi County Impressed Account, supply of Maram for roadworks, 2,500,000. I wish the CEO to clarify whether this is the only information on this or there is something else I can see. Is that the only thing you have supplied? This information on Nandi Impressed Account, supply of Maram, 2,500,000. Is that the only thing you have supplied?
Thank you, honorable member, through the chair. I think I received more than one request. There was one on production of documents and one on the summon. And that, I believe that is referring to the list of tendered and paid works.
So, you know, like for instance, Chairman, and I've seen that there is so much of this, and it doesn't make sense. Because, you know, when you say Nandi Impressed Account, I expected it to capture the name of the impressed holder. Or at least if that is not the case, then she should attach the beneficiaries directly. I have seen air tickets with respect to whom, who was traveling to where. So Chairman, under these circumstances, if we were to proceed with these documents the way they are, we will not be able to make good sense of the conversations we want to make. I've even seen hire of motor grader for roadworks. And then there is just like that, that's all. If we were to have a conversation here about them, we wouldn't know. So unless these documents are clarified properly.
Okay. Madam Chief, can you respond to that?
Thank you, Chair and Honorable Member. I believe the schedule that the Honorable Member is making reference is the list of outstanding bills. It was one of the requirements or submissions that I was asked to make to this Honorable House. When we make reference to the Nandi County Impressed, we're making reference to the bills to outstanding bills or bills to the owners of Maram, referring to the financial year 22-23. I believe it is well labeled as 22-23. This is when we used to procure and get Maram from individual farmers. And since they are not defined in IFMIS, the only way we could make payment to them is through the county impressed account. Maybe if there is need to submit the list of those individual farmers, can still submit. Thank you.
So the explanation is that there is an outstanding interest, or it's supposed to be paid as an interest.
As I've said, when we used to procure, we've used a different model while procuring or getting Maram. For roadworks in the financial year 22-23, the roads department was procuring Maram direct from individual farmers at various locations across the county. When we came to financial year 23-24, we had to engage through framework agreements because it became an audit issue to engage farmers directly, who most of them do not have companies and were not even willing to register a company in which they can use to lease out or to sell out the Maram to the county government. So the only way was to pay them directly. But since we are using IFMIS system, we could not define them individually because for an IFMIS, for an individual to be paid through IFMIS, you need to have an IFMIS number. We can assign IFMIS number to the employees, but not to non-employees. So since they are not employees of the county government, we could only use the impressed account of the county government to pay them what was due to them. Thank you.
So because I was looking at witness, I was looking at a list. Are you then? Is it your evidence that this bundle, all these lists, are pending? All of these.
No.
Is here? Or is it just the madam?
No, there are various documents as per the request to submit. There is a schedule on outstanding bills per financial year, 22-23, 23-24. There are those paid works.
No, like
they are well labeled.
Like this one here, I'm just looking at transport and public works, transport, public works and infrastructure development votes, 22-23. Then I just see lists going. That's what I was looking at. And I came across, when I saw the impressed account, first of all, that kind of triggered my interest, but the rest are also the same.
The file that we submitted had all the labelings as per the items that we were asked to submit. And they have been separated by, maybe when producing copies, they are not well separated on the various items that we've submitted.
Could you confirm, sure, are these, maybe whether those are pending? You can bring my document. You've left it to her. Lazima gewu clear on documents. Lazima gewu clear on documents, because we are. Paid. So I was referring to that. That's. I was just reading ahead. I think it's number. What is that? Number 61 and number 62 on that. So that's paid.
I realize the challenge is that when maybe the secretariat made the copies, they didn't indicate all the separators that were defining every submission.
So, and that's why I'm saying, if this is the only information you give us, witness, it doesn't help us, and even for the rest, because that's how they are described. The narrative does not give anybody latitude to find out. Like if you are paying for air tickets, you say air tickets, supply of air tickets, to whom? And for what purpose? And that's why I think probably you, Chairman, they would require to bring us the statements for all these accounts so that we can be able to cross-check that if this is Maram, then we can see who it was that was paid. And considering that we have had issues here about Maram not being paid, and we see like those two lines following each other, 5 million. Paid for Maram. And yesterday, the other day, we could see that Maram has not been paid. This is already 5 million in one line.
Chair, I would wish that you guide this committee so that we can have a progress if you, in your wisdom, if you find that there is no compliance, could you kindly advise us on way forward? Because we shall be staggering on asking questions continuously without progressing.
Honorable Chair.
Okay, honorable members, I wish to say that, you know now, what the department has submitted is what we sought for. And maybe the only one issue that I had suspended for further direction is the issue on the integrated financial management system. So I would wish that based on what we sought for, I think it will be prudent of us to proceed. Because they've made all the submission. Maybe the only challenge now is how these submissions were made. It is becoming a challenge to the honorable members to interrogate. Because honorable members, if I can take you to the letter that was written on tendered works paid, list of consultancy services, list of tendered works, no, unless now we are going to sort for more documents to the effect of the list of
Chair.
Yes, Honorable Keter.
Thank you. I know you are about to make ruling on whether we are proceeding on or with the said document we have. I can see the main issue here is how the document was being arranged. Otherwise, most of those information that we were seeking, it is actually captured here. Maybe we can use these ones that we have. Then if we seek for any other clarification further, is when we will communicate to the department to supply us for that.
Maybe also, Chair, we can see the contracting information is for the consumption of the committee, like about Maram, the other day we had something else. Today we might get some different, so it will remain for the consumption of this committee.
So maybe I will...
Before you make a ruling, Chairman.
Yes, Honorable Minor.
I think it's, you see, it is difficult to make the interrogation, but I will stand guided by your, whatever you rule. Maybe, I don't know whether we would have another time to interrogate the witnesses. Because if right now I have before me something that says Nandi impressed account, and I want to ask about it now, so how am I supposed to proceed?
Okay. Concerning that, Honorable Minor, first is that we acknowledge that the submissions that are before us are the ones that we sought for. Maybe a few that, as we proceed with the session, might come up. Now, the only format, I think the challenge now is the format in which the documents have been presented, is now giving the honorable members a challenge to interrogate the documents. And
what I do not know, Honorable Chairman, is if they are saying that whenever they are capturing a payment for somebody or for something, that they would generalize like that and say Nandi impressed account. My feeling is that they knew very well that the document we want is for, this is a summarized, could probably be a summarized document or so, because I do not believe that there is no document that shows clearly that Kipkemboi, someone, was paid an interest of 2,500,000 for Mara. What document is that? Maybe they can tell us what it is so that we request for it.
Thank
if we have not requested for it.
Okay, Madam CEO.
Thank you, Chair and the Honorable Member. I think that is a unique case of a payment that we've made, because it refers to, as I've explained, it's referring to a huge number of beneficiaries. which, since they are not employees of the county government of Nandi, we could not pay them directly through IFMIS. So we had to consolidate the invoices submitted from the department of these individuals who've sold the maram to the county government of Nandi and paid them as through impressed account. Then we take the schedule of the beneficiaries to the bank, which is our commercial account, for their accounts, individual accounts, to be credited. We can supply the list that is supporting that expenditure, because by the time we paid that, there is a supporting schedule, which is possible to submit.
So I think, Chairman, that's the key thing. All these transactions must be supported. And for now, it's upon the committee, we proceed. It will be a bit foolhardy because we do not know whether there is support, whether these payments are supported.
Okay, I think, honorable members, let me guide now that as we proceed with the interrogations and with the help of our secretariat, they are going to capture issues that are not properly dealt with. Then after that, any document that we feel should be supplied to us will be supplied, and then it will be upon now the committee to compare the documents that have been supplied against the information.
Chair.
Yes.
In support of what you are ruling, I think should come to our mind that we had requested department. The reason why I was saying we can proceed with what we have, then later on we will see the documents that are missing this, because you remember Department X, we requested the same to supply us all. And I saw them carrying some blue file somewhere, believing that it could be, if we put X and B, it will be enable us to proceed. I think let us not forget that one. There is,
okay.
We had given somebody assignment.
On that note, I remember that there are some documents that we had also requested from the relevant departments. So I would wish that we proceed so that from the departmental documents against what the finance team will produce and against anything that as a committee we are going to request further, we shall make the comparisons.
Yeah, allow me to
yes,
on the same thread, allow me to inquire from the CC Finance. Where we are, it was from a motion of county importance which sought project implementation from every department. So we wanted to confirm to you whether the forwarded report emanated from departments. Can you confirm the same, Waziri? For the period 22-23 and 23-24. Remember the initial report, the one you submitted to the Honorable House?
Yes, Chair.
So, Chair, with that confirmation, I want to concur with what Honorable Julius was saying, because, Chair, I was trying to go through what the Finance Department have submitted, and I realized some departments were kind of chillers in information, because there are quite a number of projects which were done in the same financial year, which were not in the initial report. And therefore, even the field visits we did, some of the projects were not submitted by department. So meaning, Chair, I will have to receive the same issue maybe later. That was I just wanted to confirm that indeed it was submitted by the departments.
Okay. Waziri?
Yes, Chair, they were submitted.
The documents that you forwarded to this Honorable House were the same documents forwarded by the departments?
On that specific aspect that the Honorable Member sought, yes.
Honorable Chairman.
So maybe one final one. So for your Department of Finance, you own that the information given are to do to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, Chair.
Thank you.
Chairman, I just also wanted to make an inquiry. I don't know whether the honorable member was talking about quarterly reports. Could you confirm to this committee whether you have received or you have with you the quarterly reports in the right format with you for the period under consideration?
Yes, Chair. I confirm.
Supplied to this house?
Chair, I will supply. They were not specifically mentioned that I do supply now.
Now, Waziri, that is now another issue. From the first 10,
Chair.
Waziri, maybe before I give to Mheshimiwa Mosbey, I would like to confirm the same. In your letter to appear here, or in the motion that was captured when this issue arose, you are required to submit quarterly reports in accordance with Section 166 of the PFM Act 2012. Now, I want to revisit the same question. Have you supplied quarterly reports to this Honorable House?
As of now, Chair, I haven't.
Maybe I will indulge you to give the reasons.
And Chair, before Waziri gives reasons, Waziri, I want to ask you, because you served in this house, you are the chair of Pick and Pack. What does the PFM says on quarterly reports? Do you normally receive from different departments? And the law says, as you submit to control of budget, 15 days after, you should supply the same reports to this house. Before, even on this particular incident, Waziri, kindly please, could you kindly pay attention? Before this incident, have you been supplying quarterly reports to this house? Could you kindly respond?
Chair, yes, but not so that we move forward, Chair, because we are under oath. We've come with open mind. We want to respond to the questions of the committee, not in the format, not in a manner that is in that the member is.
Chair, the chair should
what has been coming here.
Waziri,
I've said.
Order, Honorable Bet, let me give guidance. Waziri, you've been asked a very simple question. You've been asked a very simple question. And to avoid a lot of interjections and a lot of issues, I think it is nice for you, Waziri, to stick to the question so that we avoid a lot of interjections and a lot of point of orders. Because I'm very sure, I'm cocksure, that the moment you deviate from the question, that is when now you will know that these honorable members are here on a serious issue.
Chairman.
Yes, Honorable.
So that we can help them, Chairman.
Yes.
If they are following the law, we should receive 8 reports. And 8 reports, because I've seen it is a scheme actually to confuse us, to make it look very complicated, because we have 2 financial years in consideration. Each financial year has got 4 quarters, right? We can only excuse them. Maybe this first quarter, not even excuse, there are no excuses because the 2 financial years we are well into the first quarter of 2024-2025. First quarter is gone. So we have to have 4 reports. And if there is a level of transparency from this department, we should be told quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4 is there. 2023, 2024, quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. And we have a look at it.
Yeah, Chair, for the information of Waziri, we are referring to PFM Act section 166. And maybe you can read to him or the Waziri can read for us.
Maybe for avoidance of doubt on the contents of the PFM Act 166, I would wish to read 166(1). An accounting officer for a county government entity shall prepare a report for each quarter of the financial year in respect of the entity. In preparing a quarterly report for a county government entity, the accounting officer shall ensure that the report, A, contains information on the financial and non-financial performance of the entity, and B, is in form determined by the Accounting Standards Board. 3, not later than 15 days after the end of each quarter, the accounting officer shall submit the quarterly report to the county treasury. Not later than 1 month after the end of each quarter, the county treasury shall, A, consolidate the quarterly reports and submit them to the county assembly. B, deliver copies to the Control of Budget, National Treasury, and the Commission on Revenue Allocation. And C, publish and publicize them. 5, in the case of an entity that is a county corporation, the accounting officer for the corporation shall also submit a copy of the quarterly report to the county executive committee member responsible for the corporation, who, upon approving it, shall submit a copy to the county treasury. Now, Waziri, the bone of contention now is this 166, section 166 of the PFM Act. Now, Waziri, so that we can move, you know, Waziri, it is actually nice, to be honest. Have you been receiving quarterly reports from the departments?
Yes, Chair.
Now, after consolidating, have you transmitting the same to this honorable house?
Chair, I want to admit I have been forwarding to the controller and all of the other bodies mentioned. The copies are there. I haven't submitted to the county assembly. I will submit all of them.
I have a question, Chair.
Honorable Chair.
Chair, I have a question.
Yes.
Honorable Chair.
Maybe let me give guidance. Because the question was being championed by Honorable Tarbey, let him finish, and then I will give you Honorable Tolole.
Yeah, I wanted to find out from whether there was miscommunication from the office of the clerk, maybe to Waziri, because the motion which was adopted by this house, maybe I won't read the whole motion, but the final part of it was that therefore, the House therefore resolves that alive to the current wave of unaccountability, the County Executive Committee member responsible for Finance, Treasury, to within 7 days from adoption of this motion, 1, submit in accordance with Section 166 of the PFM Act 2012, A, progress reports of all projects per department indicating what undertaken during the financial year 2022-2023 and 2023-2024 against the incurred expenditure of the following department. It listed all the departments starting with the County Executive, Finance and Economic Planning, Health and Sanitation, Administration and Public Service, Agriculture and Cooperative Management, Sports, Youth Affairs and Culture and Heritage, Education and Vocational Training, Lands, Environment and Natural Resources and Climate Change, Transport and Public Works and Infrastructure Development, Trade, Tourism and Industrialization. The second part was provide reasons for non-compliance with Section 166 of the Public Finance Management Act. So what I'm interested, Chair, the section was clearly that the CEC, who has confirmed that he has been forwarding the same quarterly reports according to PFM's Act Section 166, in his reply to this Honorable House, in the forwarding letter it says, subject, forwarding of progress report of all projects per department undertaken during financial year 2022, 2023, and 2023-2024. Wasiri, can you explain to us how you converted the information from the PFM map to a progress report? What happened in between here? Was there a miscommunication from the clerk's office, or you just assume we needed a progress report instead of quarterly reports?
Maybe so that Waziri will answer both concerns, I will invite Honorable Tolole.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. My question is just in conjunction with Honorable Tarbes, that the Honorable CEC is telling us that he has forwarded all the reports to the concerned bodies, almost all the bodies, except the County Assembly. Do you hold this House in contempt?
Honorable Chair.
Maybe let me put the question by Honorable Tolole in another frame. Are you in contempt of this House?
No, Chair. I responded for us to move forward, but I had an explanation.
The question is, are you in contempt of this House?
No, Chair.
Again, Honorable Chair,
maybe
the same question.
Let us allow Waziri to respond to.
I'm packing up the question for my colleague here. To the witness, Waziri. Waziri, kindly pay attention. You are consulting, and you have been in this honorable House. You know the rules and procedures. Have you been honoring or acting upon the motions passed by this honorable House? Yes or no? Because it's the motion which has requested all the requirements which you could have submitted before this ad hoc committee. Have you been honoring the motions or acting upon the motion passed by this honorable House?
Okay. Maybe I will allow Waziri to now respond.
Thank you, Chair. To begin with the very last one, yes, I have a duty to honor all the motions passed by this House in various forms, in form of reports or motions passed as a motion per se. On the question raised by Honorable Member Tarbe, Honorable Chair, at this point, I want to confirm that, yes, I have the reports. What we forwarded was implementation, which contains more, in my opinion, more information. But I want to ask that if you can allow, even tomorrow, or even, yes, because I know it's getting late now, those reports, I will forward them to the county assembly.
Honorable Chairman, like we've done before, and since the report has the copies are lying there, could the witness go and bring them right now? Because he says the copies are already there. Or better still, we can send the Sergeant at Arms and get the reports where they are. And I request Chair.
Honorable members, maybe for fairness, we have been I've been directing that any document needed to be submitted maybe on the next day.
And Chair.
So I will, on the issue of the quarterly report being submitted to this House, I want to direct that the quarterly reports be submitted by tomorrow 10 o'clock.
Honorable Chairman, it's not a question of fairness. You see, this is the same thing we want to interrogate on. And I still insist, Chairman, that the financial reports for our county for 2 years cannot be this size. This is just too brief.
I think, honorable members,
Honorable Chair.
There is nothing that will hinder us from inviting the same team to come and make clarification on the documents submitted. We still have enough time to do so. So I will indulge that let the quarterly reports be submitted by tomorrow at 10. Are you okay, Waziri? So that are you okay with tomorrow 10? Or you go and pick them now?
Chair, I'm okay with tomorrow.
Okay. So,
Honorable Chair.
Yes, Madam Chief. Let us allow the Chief Officer.
Thank you. If I'm allowed to make a small contribution in support of what Waziri has said. The PFM section 166 give the description of the quarterly reports. I think here we're talking about two different reports. The reports that we submitted that are before here are the project implementation reports, the status of the project implementations of the tendered works and all that. If you check at the PFM, the sections even before 166 and sections beyond 166, 167, 168, the format that is described here is a format that is issued by Public Sector Accounting Standard Board. I think it clearly mentions that as per the format prescribed by the Accounting Standards Board. In this case, it refers to what we call financial statements that we do on quarterly basis. It is consolidated at the end of the financial year. They are audited by Auditor General, and we normally, the audited copies do come to the county assembly. We always appear before the pick and pack to explain on these quarterly and annual reports. So it means the financial statements, they are different from the project implementation report. And as I've seen, Honorable Member, the format, in fact, in consolidates into a very small
report. Let me
report.
give some guidelines.
Thank you.
You know, the formation of this ad hoc committee was as a result of the adoption of the motion on county importance. If you have been following the events in this House, the formation of this ad hoc was an end result of the issue on the county importance motion, which had clearly stated, and it is stated on that motion. So, by the way, so that we don't take much time on the same, I think I've guided that, I've directed that Waziri is comfortable to provide the quarterly report in the format that is prescribed in the PFM Act, so that we can proceed. By tomorrow 10, you have two options.
And Honorable Chair, for avoidance of doubt.
Yes.
And, you know, notwithstanding what the chief officer is trying to explain, I think the CC was very clear, and it is true, that he has been giving all this to all others. And I should want to remind her that the reports we are talking about will capture financial and non-financial performance. And I have seen this. You supply to control of budget and everybody else, and you are truthful. You have not supplied to us. So let's
so that, honorable members, we raised the issue on that item on quarterly reports.
If you can allow,
Waziri, I want to raise that issue so that we can move to the next item.
One more request.
Yeah.
Could it be, I think your indulgence, Chair, the quarterly reports eventually by the end of the financial year consolidate into one annual report. Now that we are actually done with the two annual reports, could it be in order if I submit the consolidated final reports?
No, honorable. Oh, sorry.
I think before I give directions, maybe I will invite the honorable members to give the view on that issue, on whether to give the specific quarterly reports or to give the consolidated one. Please, Honorable Bett.
Chair, this House, there has been precedents. And the PFM Act is very clear on the kind of report to be submitted to this House. And Chair, one of the reasons as to why we have a dysfunctioning government, one of the reasons as to why we have dysfunctioning government agencies in this particular Nandi County is non-compliance to the rule of law. The consolidated report is totally different from the quarterly reports. CEC has mentioned and owned that he has been making mistakes. And Chair, I would wish the CEC should first tell us why has he not been complying with the PFM Act. 2, if indeed you are able to provide those information, why should you have to do it under undue pressure? Should this county assembly pass motion to demand on the reports that you know what should be done? And Chair, my worry is we have a person sitting in that position who has been the MCA, and not only MCA, chairman of Pick and Pack, who is trying to take us in cycles on what to do. Bwana Waziri, you have a constitutional obligation, not MCA's obligations. You have a constitutional obligation to comply. You took an oath to protect and defend the Constitution. The same Constitution that guides you on what to do and what not to do. Right? What do you find so difficult on such simple things? That we must have a conversation on whether or not, that we must move a motion in this House to direct you what to do. Is that the right way to do things? You know, we must be sincere to ourselves. And like I said yesterday, we are not here to pass judgment. We are here to unravel what has made this county not to progress in terms of development and other issues. Find a solution to the problems affecting us as a county. Get informed decisions as a result of interrogations of documents. And I would wish, Chair, that these people should be informed. And be informed once again that we are not passing judgment. This is not a court of law to pass judgment. Let us work together for the betterment of our people. Let us find solutions to the problems. And that way forward,
based on informed decisions. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Chair, allow me also give some guidance.
Yes, proceed.
Thank you. You know, Honorable Chair, it is even better for us to let Waziri go and get the reports. We have the whole night. We have the whole day tomorrow. Or we can adjourn this meeting and let him bring them tomorrow and we continue investigating. Thank you.
Honorable Chairman, since he said that the reports are there, and we have the quarterly reports, we just want to be very certain. In my own opinion, I think he should bring us the quarterly reports along with the consolidated. We would like to see you earning your pay, Waziri. So the quarterlies plus the consolidated. That should be the position. And I think, Honorable Chair, it would be important. I want to concur with my colleague. I would have wished that this team brings all what we require, then we engage them. I do not wish for us to engage them piecemeal, since they are either the problem of the county or there will be a solution, whichever, one of them. So, Chairman, like I wish for, so that I don't speak too oftenly, for the Waziri to clarify, or is it the chief, that the person, the acting director NCYS, claimed here that he wrote to you asking for the payment schedules, the statements for that account to see the beneficiaries, and that you did not supply, even when they have asked, he had asked severally, that he even called you, and you said, and you did not supply. So I think, Chairman, I would like you to take this with exception, that they have not been supplying us with documents either to this. And it is important that they should now obey the commands of this House. So maybe he can explain that when he gets to react. The NCYS.
Okay, let us have the comments by Honorable Sum.
Well, thank you, Chair. Let me say, we know the history of development in Nandi County for the 2 financial years that we are interrogating. That is 22-23 and 23-24. I want to ask Waziri, is it because of the underdevelopment that you are not able to supply the quarterly reports? Maybe because in a quarterly report, you may not be able to capture any development that has happened in Nandi County. And maybe you want to the consolidated one, because maybe that one can have some content. So to me, I will say I will be comfortable with either. But because the probability of having the quarterly one is minimal, then we can go for the consolidated one, the 2, for the 2 financial years, if it is indeed available. Then we can interrogate that. Thank you.
Honorable Chair.
Honorable Chair. Thank you, Honorable Chair. I also want to say we are here on behalf of this assembly, on behalf of the residents of this county. That reason, I'm also urging or asking the CC if indeed he knows and he is very sure that he has the quarterly reports there in his office to just avail the consolidated one, the quarterly reports, as he has just said that they are there, so that we can continue interrogating. It won't take much time just to go there. Furthermore, Honorable Chair, if indeed we want to get it clear, on my opinion, you can just adjourn, let the department go look for those. We are here to serve this county. We also took an oath, and we must get it right. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Honorable Chair, allow me to prosecute my question. Honorable Chair, to Assyria and CEO, although you are consulting one another, why you are not serious? Indeed, you are not serious. And we will give you a break because you are taking us lightly. Wasiri, I remember some day back, you were in the Senate, full bench, and you were sent back because of lack of documents. And you cannot take this house as a lesser house. This is also an honorable house, which represents two legislation and oversight. I think it is honorable if we give you break so that you will deliver to this committee the full documents that is required of us. I think I'm on the point. And again, by the way, Honorable Chair, we want to ask you qualification for the head of supply chain. Pirop, what is your maximum or highest qualification? Can you kindly furnish us with your qualification before before the chair summarize the session? Thank you.
I think Chair.
Honorable Chair. Honorable
No, I
Chair.
think it is still for the honorable members to give their reactions on the issue that is not substantive to us now, so that I will make some guidelines based on the views of the honorable members. Maybe I will allow Honorable Trufosa to give you a view.
Honorable Chair, I really wanted to ask you to give us direction, because I've seen the department are not ready to answer all these questions. If they are, then they can proceed on. If not, Chair, can you give us direction?
Point of order. This department, they brought us the document which is not paginated. And that is, they want to confuse us. We will not be confused, Honorable Chair. Let them go and paginate the document. This is a total confusion. I have seen a number of projects in my ward which has been paid 22, 23. Renovation of Sania, construction of dispensary in my village. You can't confuse me, Wasiri. My mind is still afresh. I know my village. I've seen a document here.
Honorable members,
no.
I want to give guidance on that.
Yeah,
Let us not include
Chair, opinion.
feelings, honorable members.
Yeah, we haven't.
We might be angry, but let us not include feelings, please. Yeah. You know, we are live. We are live on YouTube and Facebook, so please let us not include feelings.
Chair.
Yes, Honorable Tarbey.
Chair, my opinion, because we are not chanting anybody, and we don't want to go against the PFM Act which we cited, it is clear that copies of quarterly reports should come to this honorable. So why should we ask for a summative report when the PFM Act clearly states that it is quarterly? And it is from the quarters that we will combine our own summative report. So, Chair, I think we should go by the quarterly reports.
Okay. Let me, Honorable Bridget, do you have anything to say? Or I give directions?
No, I think I'm in support with my colleague, Honorable Tarbey.
Honorable Mosbey? Okay, I want to say this. And maybe before I give directions, I will give a chance to Waziri to respond.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, I want to confirm again that, like I said earlier, the reports are there, the quarterly reports, and the final consolidated one. We will supply to the House as per your direction.
Okay,
What about the statement from NCYS? What happened to them?
Honorable Member, you are out of order. All issues should be through the chair.
Sorry, Chair.
Yes.
This was actually through you because I had already asked.
Now, I want to make some directions. Waziri, considering the issue of the quarterly reports that is becoming a motive to the committee, I will indulge that we are proceeding, but we are not ending the session with you. We shall proceed to the following day, which is tomorrow, so that you, during tomorrow's session, you will have availed the quarterly reports, because we have other issues to interrogate. Maybe I will allow that the session continues, and then I'm ring-fencing the issue on quarter reports by extending this session to tomorrow. Is that okay, Waziri? Honorable members, I think I'm ring-fencing the whole issue by extending this session to tomorrow, when the quarterly reports will have been availed. Yeah, so let us proceed to the next item.
Yeah.
So any issue on quarter reports should now rest that way.
Honorable Chair, you wanted a response from me?
No, I've given directions.
You said whether it's okay.
It is okay. You know, Waziri, I want to read section 195 of the Constitution. A county assembly or any of its committees has powers to summon any person to appear before it for the purpose of giving evidence or providing information. 2, for the purpose of clause 1, an assembly has the powers as the High Court. So I think that one I've given directions. I'm ring-fencing the issue on quarter reports by extending today's session to tomorrow, when the quarter reports will have been availed. So let us move to the next item.
No.
Yeah.
Honorable Chair, point of order. My question has been bypassed. Honorable Tirop, kindly furnish us with your qualification.
Oh, maybe that one, that issue now, maybe let it be an item on its own.
Yes.
Honor Tirop.
All right, thank you, Chair and honorable members. The honorable member has asked about my qualifications, and he has asked that I provide. I shall. I've got bachelor's in commerce, and I have a background in supply chain, and I'm a member of KISM, and all that shall be provided to this house as required.
Maybe just a question now that is still fresh in my mind. Could the head of procurement explain to us where in almost 80% of the department, the contracted sum of a particular project is equal to the budgeted sum, if indeed the procurement process is being followed? Can you explain to us in that scenario what transpires so that the budgeted sum is equal to the contracted sum?
Thank you, Chair. Honorable member, we have the estimated, what we call the engineer's estimates that are usually provided by the technical departments. And then that is subjected to competition. I would imagine that they would be close, but not exact. And that is the case as is in the county, where if, for instance, a contract is 4 million, you would probably get the most competitive close to that amount. Thank you.
So, but if in case we provide projects where budgeted sum was equal to the contracted sum, how would you explain as a procurement officer?
I would respond that The process is very competitive, and we have evidences of how the processes are done. So I wouldn't exactly know that situation that you've described, but every procurable item goes through a competitive process as per the Act.
Okay, so.
Chairman, maybe it's important to ask the witness, first of all, on what you talked about. You said you are a Bachelor of?
Commerce.
And then you explained that you have a background around.
Yes, supply chain.
What is that?
That I am a procurement professional.
I mean, what does it mean for somebody to have a background around?
I've said background.
Yeah, you've said Bachelor of Commerce, then you said, and then I have a background around. Could you explain that? What background exactly are you talking about?
I didn't say around member, I said background.
So what is it? What is background?
Experience in supply chain and a professional.
Are you saying that you are not you have not studied that area?
I have.
You have experience?
I have experience and I have studied.
What have you studied?
Supply chain.
What?
I think, honorable members, let me give guidance. I think we are ruling that let the head of supply chain provide these academic credentials.
But anyway,
so that
allow me, Chair.
Okay,
so that some of the questions can be answered through the perusal of the documents. Honorable Tarbey?
Allow me for an example like a project in Nganypagurio, construction of a pollution block. The contracted sum was 1,517,320. The budgeted sum was 1,517,320. So I wanted the procurement officer to explain to us if indeed the procurement process was competitive, how can the contractor quote up to the last cent? That's where we fail to understand as a house.
Honorable Chair, I think in most cases, I would want to assume, like the case he has just mentioned, on the budgeted amounts for pending bills, the amounts will be exact, but not on contracted sums that are ongoing. So we will need to verify, but if we have cases of pending bills that are exact, then those figures are budgeted as is, because they have already been awarded and the jobs have already been done. So that would be the scenario in the case like you have mentioned.
So for your answer, it's just on pending bills?
In pending bills, the figures would be exact because they have already been contracted.
Okay, I think I'll give you another one for a project that was paid, maybe not a pending bill, but a real project. Allow me, Chair, to ask one question.
Yes, proceed.
This will go to Waziri, the CC for Finance. Can you explain to us the issue of the monitoring and evaluation vehicle? Can you give us a background about it? When was it bought? Because I saw it was budgeted in 2022, 2023, and 2023, 2024. What is the true picture of the same vehicle?
Chair, that can be taken by my chief officer.
Waziri, let me guide that question. That question arose when we had some officials from another department, and they claim that you are the one using the same vehicle. So I think you redirecting that question to the chief is not correct, because some officials, if I can remember, the same vehicle brought an issue and they were asked about the same vehicle. And they said the same vehicle has been procured and it is the one that you are using. So I think you are in a better place to make some clarity on that. Or okay, let me allow the chief to explain.
Okay, thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair. The vehicle in reference is a motor vehicle that was budgeted under Department of Finance, monitoring and evaluation function, And in the budget, it was under development vote, because we can capitalize the monitoring and evaluation component for, because it is program related. The motor vehicle is the one under, as it has been said, under M&E. We budgeted for it at 8 million. And I know the issue at hand was the cost that was paid. The vehicle was procured under open tender and through the government contract under Ministry of Transport. I think it came back as a concern from the committee, and we responded that it was sourced through government contracts. By the time it was budgeted for, as we submitted the budget in April, and the vehicle was procured towards the end of the fiscal year, I think November. By the time the specifications we sought to buy were not available under government contract. And so the option that we got that was not far from the estimates that we had was the one that we went for. We have all the procurement file for the whole document. The concern I know could be we procured it at 10 million against a budget of 8 million. The difference was paid using the recurrent vote. We had an allocation for purchase of motor vehicle under recurrent, and the other 8 million under development. They are the same related vote for purchase of motor vehicle, and so it was in order to pay using the same vote of purchase of motor vehicle. Thank you.
So when you say the amount was not far from the budgeted sum, how far was it? How much are you talking about the difference?
At this particular moment, this is a moment when the cost of motor vehicles had gone high because of the dollar and Kenya shilling issue. And since we were actually in need of the motor vehicle to support the monitoring and evaluation function for us to produce the progress reports of the projects, and there was no, all the options that you could have were quite expensive from the government contract. In the procurement file, it will be required to submit. It shows all the options that we had, and that was the cheapest of the government contract motor vehicles that were available for us to procure.
So you are confirming that you used an extra of around 3 million without the approval of this house?
The amount was in the approved budget, but under recurrent vote of purchase of
which
motor
budget?
vehicle.
With approved budget?
The same financial year budget. But
How much
under
was
recurrent.
budgeted for the same?
Sorry?
How much was budgeted for this M&E vehicle?
The initial allocation, the initial budget was 8 million in the development vote.
Now, where did you get the extra money?
We got under recurrent expenditure for purchase of motor vehicles allocated.
But this was a development.
Yes.
So can you explain, Wasiri? Because it beats logic how this house budgets for 8 million for a vehicle, but you go ahead and purchase it at around almost 11 million, a difference of 3 million without the approval of this honorable house. Now, what happens when you use the money which was not budgeted for? What does the law require the department to do?
Honorable member, the amount was in the same approved budget by the county assembly.
Which approved budget?
Under recurrent expenditure.
So you used the money for, was the recurrent expenditure for
The
purchase
same
of vehicle?
vote of purchase of motor vehicle. So it's a related vote on the recurrent and the development, which you can supply the copy of the budget to confirm that.
I think we have the budget for 2022 and we had budgeted for 8 million. And maybe on the same. So in this your report, which you have submitted to this honorable house, that this is the status of outstanding payment for, maybe I want to take you to this page. Chair, because their documents are not paginated. The same item has been highlighted. Is the Department of Finance and Economic Planning and ICT, financial year 2022-2023. What the CEO is detailing has not been provided for. If you can see clearly, it's indicated the amount 8 million. So if you are developing this report and you are not indicating the amount, I know, maybe you can explain, Wasiri, what is this report about? Because what the figures we are seeing here is 8 million. We are not seeing the 10.917 million. So are you lying to the Honorable House, or what was the essence of us providing for this report?
Maybe, Waziri, can you respond to that issue that is being raised?
It's in the 8th page, Waziri, because you'd never paginated your document. This page, where it's talking of, it was applied by Simba Corporation Limited. Description payment for purchase of Mitsubishi Pajero car for finance. Amount 8 million. So if you put it at 10.917, why indicate 8 million in this report?
Honorable Chair, because that one is the report on the development budget. The other one is on the recurrent budget, which we can also provide the...
Wasiri, how much was paid to Simba Corporation Limited? Who supplied the vehicle? Madam Zio, how much? The supplier is Simba Corporation Limited. How much was paid to him or her, the company?
Yes, Simba Corporation is the company that is under framework.
Yeah, how much was
in
paid?
Government, 10.9.
And this you have indicated 8 million. Why?
We were reporting on the development.
So where have you hidden the 2.9 million?
I explained in the report that there was the report from the committee that came to me, and I responded last week. And I did the explanation of all that, indicating that this is the vote that we sourced from the recurrent expenditure.
Honorable Chairman, I think this is just an example of why this report, of why this document has a problem. And that's why we cannot just proceed this way. You can see just one. The CEO is telling us here that that's a payment that was made, and it reflects a different figure. How can you pay 10 million and then you reflect 8? This is a doctored document, Chairman, and these officers are taking us for a ride. Because surely if it was a printout, why can't it reflect the amount, the full amount?
Maybe, Chair, what was hard for them to indicate that Simba Corporation Limited was paid 10.9 million? Why lie to this Honorable House, submit a report that you know you have just lied? You're just indicating you paid the same company 8 million.
Okay,
because the explanation has been explained that maybe you source from the recurrent expenditure, but why lie to this Honorable House that you paid Simba Corporation Limited 8 million when you clearly paid?
Honorable Chair, order. Kindly, we cannot continue with this document. One, it has a lot of errors. One is not paginated for the sake of confusion. Two.
And Honorable Chairman, it should go on record. There is no way that we will mix recurrent and development. I think that's even almost criminal. Offense there is criminal, Waziri. And you are not the ones to budget. This house, you are not the ones to appropriate. These house appropriates. You cannot bring to us a request for 8 million and then you go and spend 10 million for an item. You cannot. Waziri, do you know the legal implications of that?
Okay, honorable members, let me give the team, the chief, to respond to it, and then I will give guidance on that item.
Thank you, honorable members, through the chair. I confirm that the report is not doctored. We've given the expenditure report on the development budget. We can produce the report on the difference from the recurrent budget. It is the same budget that was appropriated, yes, by this house, but it's the same vote line. It is illegal if I will source maybe a vote of maintenance to support purchase. It is both purchase of motor vehicle, both development and recurrent. We only capitalize equipment and maybe vehicles for monitoring and evaluation, anything related to development. Otherwise, we would have budgeted under recurrent, but our recurrent sailing could not allow it to have fully under recurrent. All the information can be provided. It was open tender under government contract. Thank you.
Honorable Chairman, you see, this is the reason why we have a problem. All the information can be provided. We require the information now. And you see the head of this institution, the county treasury, sits there. He's the one. You know, the chief officer is not, this is the head of the county treasury. And maybe while there, maybe you can point us to the government contract on the excavators. Waziri, is it captured? The government tender on the 2 motor graders. Where is it captured in this? Was that a government tender also? Government contract?
Yes.
I'm asking Waziri. Please, you can tell the witness
Yes,
not to
it
put on
was.
our microphone. So is it here also?
Okay, let me give guidance, please. I think maybe so that we don't have interjections. Waziri, I want to, and I had earlier directed that any question directed to Waziri should be answered by Waziri. Any question directed to this chief officer should be answered, and the same to, so that we avoid and if you will require some minutes to consult, it is also allowed. So that when members are posing their questions, please pay attention, so that you get the content of the question. And if you need some few minutes for consultation, you can also request for the same. Now, Waziri, respond to the issue.
Thank you, Chair. For the graders, I can confirm, yes, they are there. Government contracts.
Where is it in this report?
Under roads, the payments under roads. And we have captured that.
It was paid to which company?
Trans-African Motors.
I wish there was a pagination, surely. So where is it to be found? Honorable Chairman, I think you need really to help us. This department should be allowed time to organize.
Honorable Chair, when our document is the same, exactly the same document we forwarded to the House, we have the copy here. We can demonstrate that figure, on roads.
You know now, Waziri and the team, the challenge, the biggest challenge now that the honorable members are facing is to locate the items because they are not paginated.
Chair, I don't know whether we can have a look at the document that has been circulated to the members when it was rolled out. I don't know whether it was captured as it came. Because that we can have a look at it and see whether it's organized like ours.
Honorable Chair.
I found the...
Honorable Chair, if it takes, Honorable Member, 10 minutes just to look for a page, how long are we going to take here?
And I think, Honorable Chair, you should,
Why don't you
should
just
give direction, please. Give direction. We are getting confused with this document. How come is a powerhouse department, the backbone department for this county, are very confused with the document?
Chair.
How
Chair.
now? They should be a role model.
Point of order, Chair. Point of order, Chair. Maybe it could be good if we adjourn so that everything can be put in order.
I second.
Allow me to ask one question before you adjourn.
This is Shagaola. This is Shagaola document, Honorable Chair. This is Shagaola document.
Chair, allow me to ask one question.
Yes.
Yes, Chair. Chair, you know, I will be supporting the adjournment by members because we are confused. Like what I said, in the report which was forwarded to this Honorable House, in the project implementation report, every department was forwarding projects for their department. But now we are getting new projects that were not in the earlier report. For example, Chair, I don't know, now that we don't have a page, if I may take you to the page for, I think the members are saying somewhere, the page for administration and public service, they are telling us that there was somebody called Crisho International Limited who supplied governor's portrait at 392,710. So, had this information been given to us, you know, we could have visited governor's office to look at that portrait, which costed 300. But now we didn't have the information. But now the finance department has submitted. So that's why I was saying there are a lot of projects which we never visited here. So we are kind of in a dilemma because we have new projects with the finance team, which was not submitted by the line departments.
Okay. Let me.
Another confusing slide on chair. I can see renovation of a cathode under recurrent at 2.9 million, 78,144. Under recurrent renovation of a cathode in a page somewhere.
Honorable Chair, I think,
Chair,
with due respect,
Chair again.
Yes.
With due respect, Chair.
I can't quote the page, but on transport and infrastructure, there is a favorite company known as Tandem Solutions. It has been paid 14 times to a tune of 42,409,033. One time they describe as supply of fuel. In another column, they describe, the description is fuel supply. They've broken down conveniently 14 times. I think if I'm not wrong, that's what the match I've captured. 42,409,000.
Okay. Honorable members,
Honorable Chair.
I would wish now to adjourn the session.
Allow.
But before you
before I adjourn the session, we need to agree on some issues so that when we shall resume the session, all these things will have been put into order. So Waziri, maybe I will, now that the honorable members have proposed adjournment, maybe I will give your team so that we agree on some issues here to be corrected. And I'm proposing, not even proposing, let me direct that, let all the documents be paginated for easy perusal by the honorable members. Because what is actually bringing confusion is these documents that we are taking time to locate some items. So I think maybe I will give you, you give your remarks.
On top of Chair, on top of pagination, I'm sorry to come in, Chair, they should also be broken into quarters, as we had asked.
Okay, maybe Waziri, I will give you time to respond.
Thank you, Chair.
Because you now for the generator.
Chair, maybe I can respond to that. Chair, maybe I can respond to that. We did not say they had pages, but they had separators. And Chair, you can check our file here.
Honorable Chairman, may I request?
Honorable Minor, please, can you allow Waziri to?
But he has already explained.
No, he has not yet finished.
Our document, and if you can allow now, Chair, I can even stand and demonstrate. Because I understand we are live, and it might appear that we actually had intentions to make the House or to make the committee find difficulty in following this. This is what we did, Chair. We didn't put pages, but we put separators. This, for example, is the lands, physical planning, housing, water, environment, natural resources, and climate change project implementation status for 23-24. The entire of this. This one is for education and vocational training. This is for transport, public works, and infrastructure. All along, Chair, all these are project implementation status. Then we have others for payments per department. So when we submitted, we have for the flagship project that is within the department. We have payments for Kapsabet municipality. We have payments for the service board all along.
I think, Waziri, that is well understood. But you know, to aid the engagements with the honorable members, what you've done is correct. But now, for efficiency, I think I could prefer if the pages are paginated, so that you easily make reference that honorable members go to maybe page 5, so that it will be easy. And then maybe even when the honorable members are raising issues, they can easily refer you to a certain page. I think that one will make us engage, and it will be easier for
Chairman.
us. Wait first, honorable member. So I think the issue here is that you've done what is correct. But now for easy engagement with the honorable members, for you it will be easy for you to understand your document, and for us to move on the same port. Before we adjourn, maybe I will, or first, maybe the honorable members. And honorable members, I'm not going to allow more
issues for you to make a list of the window for the witnesses to bring us all the documents, so that we can have a support. And I wish to ask the chief here, when you're doing IB, what is the document that we can get? The one that you okay as the last. Are you the last approver, or who approves payments? You're the last approver.
Yeah, myself.
Between your being last approver, what document can we get there?
Let us start from the head of supply chain coming this way.
So, Chair,
so that you will finish. And
the adjourning is until tomorrow. Is it?
No. I've not given any direction on that.
Because that will.
Let us have the comments from the supply chain.
That will determine the comments.
Waziri, be order, please. Let us have the comments from the supply chain.
Okay. All right, thank you, Chair. I think I stand guided on what's next. We'll oblige.
Thank you, Chair. Just a slight clarification. For us to have organized the file this way, we were trying to sort these details per department. As they are in the system, they are not sorted per department. So we had to source one item after another. And that's why we were trying to separate as per, again, the submissions that we had been asked. As of the direction to paginate and label, we oblige to that. And we'll always endeavor to do as directed by the Honorable House. Otherwise, as it came from us, it looked organized and well described too, for ease of retrieval. Thank you.
Waziri?
Thank you, Chair. In your earlier remarks when you opened, you had asked me to say something brief about the department. I think now that you have given me the closing remarks, okay. I can reserve that. I can reserve that. Yes, Chair. Just to make a comment that a member had alluded to the fact that there could be additional items in our report which were not submitted by the departments. That could be true. And the reason is our request was specific to provide all tendered works. The departments were providing development programs based on the report that earlier came to the House. So then we provided the entire of it, and therefore actually it could be possible that we have other programs which were not provided by the departments. So as again, Chair, I want to say the Department of Finance or the County Treasury is the only department that interacts with this House several other times by nature of it, the way it is organized, through the statutory responsibilities and documents that we bring to the House. So we'll be more obliged to be guided by the House, in as far as our responsibility. Where the House finds that we need to correct this or the other, as long as it is within the law, we'll be much obliged so that we can move forward this county. Otherwise, we will give all the maximum cooperation for the House, for the better of all of us, and for the better of the county of Nandi. For the documents, we will then request that, Chair, through your indulgence, you help us get the documents so that we help the members to put together, make them well arranged for the session that is coming, the next session. Otherwise, Chair, we want to thank you for allowing us to be here. We want to be fruitful to the House in our input. Thank you.
Chair, NCYS. You remember you interrogated a witness here. Can he just briefly say something about that?
No. Let us adjourn, please. It will be interrogated in the next session. Maybe I will now request the Sergeant and before I request the Sergeant, I want to express our appreciation as a committee to you for first honoring the summons. And let it be well understood that the session had been adjourned so that we can fix one or two things in order so that we resume. So maybe by tomorrow we shall communicate when you will come back before 10. You will get a communication by tomorrow before 10. Yes. So otherwise, may I also wish you a good night. Thank you very much. The Sergeant, please usher the team out. Thank you, honorable members. Maybe now I will call for a proposer and a seconder so that we adjourn the session officially.
I propose to propose for adjournment.
I Chipta Lydia do second.
Honorable members, the session stands adjourned until tomorrow. Thank you very much.